afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, the U.S. approves a sale of $5.58 billion in F-16 fighter jets to the Philippines. A U.S. senator holds the longest speech ever delivered in the Senate. His record, 25 hours and 4 minutes. Asia's best pole vaulter E.J. Obiena wins gold in Taiwan. And a rare crimson red diamond goes on display at the Smithsonian. Thanks for joining us. Amid all his controversial policies, you may have a lot to say about U.S. President Donald Trump. But can you speak about them for more than 25 hours? That's exactly what Democrat Senator Cory Booker did in a historic protest on the Senate floor. He now holds the record for the longest speech in Senate history, topping the previous feat of Republican Senator Strom Thurmond, who spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes in 1957. Booker used the marathon speech to warn that America is in crisis.
In just 71 days, the President of the United States has inflicted so much harm on Americans' safety, financial stability, the core foundations of our democracy, and even our aspirations as a people for, from our highest offices, a sense of common decency. These are not normal times in America. And they should not be treated as such. Speaking out, the threats to American people and American democracy are grave and urgent, and we all must do more.
JFK film director Oliver Stone wants a new probe into the 1963 assassination of John F. Kennedy. Stone testified at a U.S. House hearing, which came after thousands of documents related to the killing were released this month, as ordered by President Trump. Stone's 1991 film faced harsh criticism from historians for its suggestions that Kennedy's death was the result of high-level conspiracies. The Justice Department and other federal government bodies have blamed the public murder on U.S. Marine veteran Lee Harvey Oswald.
Let us reinvestigate the fingerprints of intelligence all over Lee Harvey Oswald from 1959 to 1960, his violent death in 1963. And most importantly, this CIA, whose muddy footprints are all over this case, a true interrogation. I ask you in good faith, outside all political considerations, to reinvestigate the assassination of this President Kennedy from the scene of the crime to the courtroom.
A major boost for the Philippines' defense capability. The U.S. State Department has approved the sale of $5.58 billion in F-16 fighter jets to the Philippines. That includes 20 F-16 jets and related equipment. The U.S. State Department says the sale will improve the security of a strategic partner that continues to be an important force for political stability, peace, and economic progress in Southeast Asia. On a recent visit to Manila, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth vowed to reestablish deterrence in the Indo-Pacific region in light of what he says are threats from China. Vice President Sara Duterte says her father does not blame President Bongbong Marcos for his arrest, but she credits Marcos for her renewed relationship with former President Rodrigo Duterte. Hannity reports.
Vice President Sara Duterte held her longest visit yet to her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, who remains detained at The Hague, Netherlands. VP Sara said this has been their longest conversation ever. She credits President Bongbong Marcos for their renewed ties.
It really is ironic, but I have to thank Bongbong Marcos because there was forgiveness between me and PRD for all that has happened in our lives.
She arrived at the ICC detention center Tuesday around 1:40 p.m. local time. A few minutes later, her half-sister Kitty Duterte and her father's longtime partner Honilet Avancenia were seen running to join the VP. Their family stayed for nearly 3 hours. It was the first time 3 family members visited the former president together since his first ICC appearance on March 14.
Growing up, he was always busy with work, he was always busy with the country. And now I have this every day with him talking about life, talking about family.
But the vice president admits it's bittersweet. The former president now faces crimes against humanity charges in the ICC.
Sad lang that it has to happen inside the ICC, inside the detention.
Kitty Duterte agrees. Following the former president's arrest, his 80th birthday was also the first time they've seen this much unity among family and supporters.
Not just us, sa mga supporters. Yes. I told him of that.
When asked if her father ever blamed President Marcos for his arrest, VP Sara says no. It was in 2024 when the Uniteam tandem broke up.
And he always says, I did it for my country. He did it. Always says.
VP Sara is set to go back to the Philippines soon and is only waiting for a document to finalize her return. Other siblings, Paulo and Sebastian, also have plans to visit while being busy with their election campaigns. Hannah T, Billionario News Channel.
Fake news spread like wildfire after the arrest of former President Duterte, and it appears many Filipinos fell for it. In the first part of his special report, George Cahiles tells us how disinformation has been shaping public opinion.
19-year-old Joy, not her real name, admits that she has fallen victim to false information spread through social media and messaging applications.
Yung sa walang pasok po, ano po nila, chinachat po nila. Pero hindi naman po talaga.
Ikaw na biktima ka na nung walang pasok. Ano nangyari nun?
Natulog po ulit ako, tapos nag-chat po yung prop namin. Meron po walang pasok.
When it comes to politics, she has also learned not to believe everything she reads, even when it comes to legitimate media organizations. Take, for example, the bloody war on drugs under former President Rodrigo Duterte, which is one of the reasons why he was arrested and is now facing charges of crimes against humanity before the International Criminal Court or ICC.
Hindi ko naman po nakita yung mga ginawa niya na binibintang sa kanya. Kaya po, naano po ako, nagugulahan. Marami na po kasi nagawa si Duterte.
Kagaya na?
Yung mga ano po ginawa niya, kunwari po sa drugs, na iwasan po. Yun.
A 2023 De La Salle University Institute of Governance study found that 1 in every 3 young people in Metro Manila, aged 18 to 25, is highly susceptible to consuming and believing in fake news. Meanwhile, a recent SWS survey reveals that 2 of 3 Filipinos struggle to determine whether the news or information they watch, read, or hear on television, radio, and social media is true or fake. How does misinformation and disinformation on social media affect a person's beliefs? Psychologist Dr. Reyes says several factors contribute to this phenomenon.
Nakaka-apekto yung fake news if hindi siya nakaka-counter with, let's say, the real news or with facts. And there are other factors din kasi considering ano yung saan nanggagaling yung person, paano niya nakuha yung information, sino nagpasa ng information na yon.
Reyes explains that social media has made the creation and distribution of information more accessible and much faster for everyone. Unlike legitimate sources, however, the information shared by some content creators or vloggers does not go through fact-checking.
Anybody can spew out their opinions without necessarily verifying the facts. Kasi wala namang training given to them. So yun yung downfall nun. So parang if you are the type of person na mas marami kang following because of your previous content, ang tendency na feel mo kasi relatable yung person, lagi mo siyang accessible yung person. And therefore, kung meron man siyang sinasabi and because you resonate with this person, yung tendency mo mas maniniwala ka din.
The issue of social media algorithms also play a huge role. Algorithms determine what contents appear on a person's feed based on factors such as past user behavior, relevance, and the popularity of a post.
Filipinos are very subjective diba? Kung ano yung sinabi sa kanya, lalo na kung pinagkakatiwalaan niyo yung nagsabi sa kanya, then ang tendency mo is to believe that person. And so, yun yung difficulty doon. I-multiply mo yon sa maraming mga tao, then it creates, diba, an environment where you just try to listen to each other.
This is how some individuals exploit social media to influence people's thoughts, beliefs, and opinions by spreading false information. George Cahiles, Billionaire News Channel.
Officials are now securing the site of a major grass fire on Taal volcano island. Paulo Barcelon is on the scene for us in San Nicolas, Batangas. Paulo, what do we know so far, and how is the situation there right now?
Good afternoon. Batangas disaster officials say no person was hurt in the massive grass fire which affected around 5 hectares around Taal volcano island. As you can see behind me, take a look right now. That black patch of land that you can see was the affected area. That's according to some local government staffers that we talked to here in San Nicolas. That was the scene of the blaze which struck shortly before noon yesterday, and it went on for nearly a day, before eventually being controlled before 6 o'clock this morning. Videos on social media showed scenes reminiscent of the Los Angeles wildfires with thick smoke and flames visible for miles. Batangas Disaster Management Chief Dr. Amor Calayan says while grass fires have occurred in the area in the past, yesterday's fire is so far the largest in terms of affected land area. Now, fire officials say that as of 11 in the morning, the blaze is still under control, although we don't see any more smoke from the area as of the moment. We're just waiting on word from the Bureau of Fire Protection if the fire has been fully extinguished.
Paulo, if the fires rekindle, hopefully not, how are residents and local officials preparing?
Well, we actually spoke earlier to Dr. Calayan, who is the head of the Batangas PDRMO, and she said that they have already issued emergency go bags. They have prepared evacuation centers in place should the blaze rekindle. And right now, we're also checking on the local government's preparations because that part of the Taal volcano island, which was burned yesterday or was caught in a fire yesterday, is under the jurisdiction of the San Nicolas municipal government.
Lastly, Paulo, any updates on Taal volcano's activity?
Well, as of the moment, Taal is still under alert level 1, but great that you asked that question because one of the concerns right now by civil defense officials is to check on whether or not the fire affected important volcano monitoring equipment in the area. So should that be damaged, we're talking about millions of pesos worth of equipment that could have potentially helped in terms of tracking the activity of the Taal volcano.
Thank you for that report, Paulo Barcelon. Stay safe. The Commission on Elections has kicked off its nationwide distribution of voter information sheets. Our mobile journalist Ivy Reyes joins us on the line from Quezon City. Ivy, go ahead.
Ahead of the midterm elections, about 68 million voters information sheets, or VIS, will begin distribution today. Earlier this morning, Comelec Chairman George Garcia personally handed out VIS along Harrison Street in Pasay City. Garcia stressed that all VIS are to be delivered personally to ensure that the recipient is the actual resident. A VIS contains all polling information a voter needs, such as their polling precinct and the list of local and national candidates, as well as the 156 party lists running for office. In case you forget your VIS on the day of the election, a precinct finder is available online, while all voting centers have a voter's assistance desk station per school. Garcia also addressed doubts that a voter's signature upon claiming of the VIS will be used for non-election related purposes, such as the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. He clarified that the signatures will serve purely as a proof that the VIS was received. Later this afternoon, the Comelec and Bank will hold a session on pending issues such as Marikina Mayor Marcy Todoro's case and reported election-related violence cases. As of now, that's the latest here from Quezon City. Mai?
Ivy, who are authorized to deliver these voter information sheets.
Only personnel authorized by COMELEC are allowed to distribute. In fact, this is the reason why they need your signature, because COMELEC has to confirm that your personnel gave out the correct VIS. If the recipient is not at home, a relative could claim for them if and only if they can confirm that it's their domicile or permanent residence.
Thank you, Ivy Reyes, reporting to us from Quezon City. Ultra-billionario Manny Villar leads 15 Filipino tycoons who have made it to Forbes' list of the world's richest people. Villar ranked 117th globally with a net worth of $17.2 billion as of April 1st. This makes him the wealthiest Filipino this year, a big jump from 2024 when he placed third among local billionaires. The former senator and one-time presidential candidate is the chairman of property giant Vista Land and Lifescapes, with his biggest asset being his stake in Golden MV Holdings. Other Filipino ultra-billionarios on the Forbes list include Enrique Razon, Ramon Ang, Lucio Tan, and the C siblings of the SM Group. We're taking a break. Up ahead, Filipino Olympian EJ Obiena overcomes foggy conditions to rule a pole vault competition in Taiwan. Sports and entertainment next. You're back in Newsfeed at noon. In sports, EJ Obiena proving once again why he's the best pole vaulter in Asia. The Filipino Olympian won gold at the Taiwan International Pole Vault Championships. Obiena cleared 5.50 meters on his third attempt to come out on top despite foggy conditions. The men's world number 4 says the victory is a great start as he prepares for the outdoor season. Here at home, the Creamline Cool Smashers proved their dominance once again in the PVL All-Filipino Conference semifinals. The Grand Slam Queens bounced back against the Akari Chargers with a sweep Tuesday. Pangs Panaga led Creamline with 13 points, built on 10 points, plus a block and 2 aces. In the next game, the Petrogas Angels escaped the Choco Mucho Flying Titans in 4 sets. Brooke Van Sickle top scored for Petrogas with 17 points on 16 kills and a block. BVS also posted 12 digs and 22 receptions. Red Bull launches a special white livery for the Japanese Grand Prix to celebrate its partnership with Honda. The design concept is a tribute to the RA272, which gave Honda its inaugural win in 1965. This Sunday's race will mark 24-year-old Yuki Tsunoda's debut with Red Bull, where he will be joining Formula One world champion Max Verstappen. U.S. President Donald Trump expresses his approval of the recently revealed relationship between Tiger Woods and his former daughter-in-law, Vanessa Trump. The president says he knew about the relationship even before Woods announced it on social media last month. Vanessa was previously married to Donald Trump Jr. for 12 years. They separated in 2018.
Don and Vanessa and Tiger actually called me a few months ago, and you have a very special, very good relationship with Tiger. I played golf with him a couple of times over the last month, and he's a fantastic guy and a fantastic athlete, and he told me about it. I love Tiger, and I love Vanessa, and they had a great relationship. I happen to think the relationship with my son, I happen to think the relationship was hurt very badly by the witch hunt that went on, Russia, and all the crap that they put Don through, who knew nothing about it.
In entertainment, some treats for Marvel fans as we finally get updates on the upcoming big screen outings of our favorite web-slinging hero. Sony Pictures reveals MCU's fourth Spider-Man solo film titled Spider-Man Brand New Day. Tom Holland reprises his role as Peter Parker as he navigates life after the events of No Way Home. The latest film will swing into theaters July 2026. Meantime, here are new images from Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Shamik Moore and Haley Steinfeld will reprise their vocal roles as Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. The third part of the Spider-Verse animated film franchise will hit cinemas June 2027. Another surprise from Sony Pictures as it reveals the cast of 4 upcoming Beatles biopics. These will star Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Harry Dickinson as John Lennon, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr, while Joseph Quinn is George Harrison. The biopics will all be released April 2028. One of the rarest gemstones on Earth is on display in Washington, D.C. Take a look at this brilliant 2.33 carat red diamond, the newest addition to the gem collection at the Smithsonian. The jewel is considered a 1 in 25 million sort of a find. It was donated to the museum by the son of famed jeweler Harry Winston. Visitors will also have a chance to see 40 other colored diamonds in shades ranging from teal to pink. And over to Shanghai, where oversized layers, futuristic cutouts, and other next-level outfits were showcased for Fashion Week. Ferdy Salvador gives us a look.
Fashion lovers, listen up! Shanghai Fashion Week 2025 just gave us some serious style moments. And if you missed it, don't worry, I've got the highlights. Nandito na tayo sa venue ng Shanghai Fashion Week ng Autumn-Winter 2025. So, andito na tayo sa venue. Papasok kami sa may VIP section para walang pila because only for Billionaire News Channel, palaging VIP. I was able to catch the latest collections from Short Sentence and A.S. Dalio. And let me tell you, these shows did not disappoint. Short Sentence, the brainchild of Shanghai-based designer Guan Lin, showcases a playful fusion of casual and structured style. Models rock oversized layers, asymmetrical cuts, and bold pops of color. Think a striking red sleeve and vibrant stripes. I am with my friend Bim. Siya ay isang pinaka-famous na influencer sa Vietnam.
Oh, not
And
not that.
you are. And nandito kami sa Shanghai Fashion Week Day 2. So we're gonna be watching A.S. Dalio. And I'm excited to be always with you, my friend.
Me too.
Lumabas ang mga fashionista dito sa Shanghai Fashion Week at makikita nyo, iba't ibang outfit na fashion forward ang kinalang pinipresent. Everything from goth to super chic, everything is here for you to see. So let's go watch the fashion show A.S. Dalio this evening. Talking about making an entrance, A.S. Dalio's show opened with a majestic horse, instantly setting the mood for high drama and next-level fashion. From there, the collection served up sleek monochrome looks, fierce silhouettes, and statement-making details like oversized capes, fur, structured leather, and futuristic cutouts. With show-stopping designs, global fashion icons in attendance, and Shanghai cementing its status as a style powerhouse, this year's Fashion Week was nothing short of spectacular. Until next season, this has been Ferdy Salvador, Billionaire News Channel.
And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on the Billionaire News Channel. Good afternoon.